but one is badges would be false. However, our program I've drawn out, if you kindly come me to the next room for a moment.
Oh, thank you, Algernon. That is very, very thoughtful of you. Let's see, what do I have for the music? Well, I'm sure your program would be delightful after a few explications. I simply cannot have French music. People know that how modern it is, and they say it is to be laughed at, and they say it is vulgar, and that is terrible. If for child music, I think it is a very acceptable language, and indeed I believe it is. So we need more of that. Gunther, will you come join us, please?
Certainly, Mamma.
Charming day, Alex.
Pray, don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever somebody talks to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain they mean something else. And it makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And I would like to be able to take advantage of Lady Rackham's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Ma has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I've often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I have ever met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite aware of the fact, and I often wish that in public at any rate you had been more demonstrative. For me, you've always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned to me in the more expensive monthly magazines and has reached its provincial pulpits, I am told. My ideal has always been to marry someone of the name of Earnest. There is something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. From the moment Algernon first mentioned me a friend called Earnest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Princess.
Passionately.
Darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Earnest.
But you don't mean to say you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest.
But your name is Earnest.
Yes. But supposing it was something else, do you mean to say you couldn't love me then?
Oh, that is truly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculation, has very little reference at all to the actual facts of your life as we know them.
To speak quite frankly, I don't much care about the name of Ernest. I don't think it suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, really, Gwendolyn, I think there are lots of other, much nicer names. Jack, for instance, a charming name.
Jack? No. There is very little music in the name of Jack. If any at all. Indeed, it does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known many Jacks, and they all have been more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a known domesticity for John. And I pity any woman married to a man called John. She would probably never know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. The only really safe name is Earnest.
Gwendolyn, I must get Chris the Ernest. We must get married at once.
Married? Mr. Worthing?
Well, surely, you know that I love you, and you led me to believe that you are not absolutely indifferent to me.
I agree, but you've not proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said at all about marriage. The subject has not even been touched on.
May I propose to you now?
I would certainly think it an admirable opportunity, and to spare you any possible disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I think it only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I fully intend to accept you.
Gwendolyn?
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you got to say to me?
You know what I have got to say to you.
Yes, but you didn't say it.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. Come on, even about it. I am afraid you have had very little experience in how to propose.
Gwendolyn, you were the only girl I ever loved in my life.
Yes, but men often propose for practice. I know my brother Gerald does. All my girlfriends tell me so. What wonderful brown eyes you have, Ernest. They are quite brown. I hope you own children just like that, especially in our military.
Mr. Wentworth, studying a coming position. It is most ridiculous.
Mamma, I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing has not quite finished yet.
Finish what, might I ask?
I am engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me. You engaged? No. When the time for you to be engaged comes, I, or your father, may give permission, will inform you. Engagement is something that is supposed to come upon a young girl as a surprise. Whether it be pleasant, unpleasant, it does not matter. An engagement is something that a young girl such as yourself could simply not arrange for herself. And now I have a few questions for you, Mr. Wendell, if I may. Gordon, while we are chatting, please wait below for me in the carriage.
Mamma!
In the carriage, Wendell! But in the carriage! Mr. Wendell, would you mind having a seat with me?
Thank you, Professor. I prefer standing.
All right, well, okay, I feel bound to tell you that I do not have your name down on my list of eligible young men. While I do share the list with the dear Duchess Bolton, well, we went together, don't you know? But that's beside the point. I am ready to enter your name. If you can give me the answer to a truly affectionate mother would like to hear. So, do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoked.
Oh, perfect. A man should always have some sort of occupation. There are far too many idle men in London these days. I think there's no need to add to it. Alright, how old are you?
29.
Oh, 29. A very good age to be married at. Alright, I have always been of the opinion that the man who wishes to get married should either know nothing or everything. Which do you know, Mr. Wedding?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of everything. I do not approve of anything that tampers with actual ignorance. You know, ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it just once, so slightly, and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound, don't you know? But fortunately, in England at any rate, the public education system produces no efforts whatsoever. I mean, if it did, that would really pose a threat to the upper classes, don't you think? I mean, it would probably lead to violence in Grosvenor Square. Besides that, what is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
Alright, and would that be in land or in investments?
In investments, too.
Alright. This is satisfactory, well, between the duties of one expected during one's life and the exacted from one after one's death. That proves neither a profit or a pleasure. I mean, it merely gives one a position, but also prevents one from holding it. That is all we can say about land.
I have a country house with some land attached to it, of course, about 1,500 acres, I believe, but I don't rely on that for my real income. As far as I can make out, the poachers are the only ones who make anything out of it.
1,500? A country house? How many bedrooms is it? Okay, we can clear that one afterwards if you don't mind. But you own a townhouse, don't you? I mean, you could not expect a girl as simple and humble as Gwendolyn to reside in the country.
I own a house in Beaufort Square, but it is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. I can get back whenever I like. At 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham, you say? I can't believe
She goes down very little. She is a lady considerably advanced in years.
You see, nowadays that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number in Melbourne's like?
149.
The unfashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that can easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the size?
Both, if necessary. What's your politics?
Well, I'm afraid I do have none. I'm a liberal refusal.
Oh, my dear, don't kid yourself. They count as Tories. They kind of us. Well, at least fun and joking evening out here. Anyway, not the line matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
That is quite because, it is quite sad to lose one parent, but to lose both, it seems like cowardice. I want to comment. You can do somewhat looking off. When you want to look around the table, whether you parable of comment or any rising friends for the aristocracy.
Well, I'm afraid I really don't know. You see, I sadly lost my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say that, well, my parents seem to have lost me. I don't actually know who I am by birth. Well, I was found.
Now,
The latest Thomas Hartley, who found me when I was a little boy, gave me the name of Roger, because we happened to have a first-class ticket for Worthing at the top of the car. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It is the seaside resort.
what a terrible thing that you're so happy to have a first-class ticket to your overall fine view. Oh, you're not kidding. A handbag!
Yes, I was in a handbag. A somewhat large black leather handbag with handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
Alright, very well. In what locality did this take of Thomas Carter, whatever you said? Where did you find this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him in the safe reserve.
I wish you were joking. The cloakroom of Victoria Station.
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial. Don't be silly. Mr. Worthing, I confess, I am aghast, bewildered at what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate, bred in a handbag, whether it's a handbag or not, it does not matter. To me, it seems to express some contempt for the decencies of a modern family life that happen to be the worst excesses of the French Revolution. I mean, are you aware of what that unfortunate movement led to? As for the particular locality of the handbag, you said, a cloakroom at a train station, it seems to be somewhat hidden from the public eye. I mean, a good place for social indiscretion. It has probably, indeed, by now been used for that. But it could hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in society, sir.
May I ask you then what you would advise me to do? I need hardly say I would do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
You bite your tongue. I would strongly advise you, Mr. Welling, to try and acquire some relations and make a definite effort to produce a parent of any sex before the end of the season.
Well, I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It is in my dressing room at home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What does this concern me with? Do you really think that Lord Bracknell and I would dream of allowing our only daughter a take your daughter with the utmost of care, to marry into a purple and form an alliance with a parcel? To answer the meanings. Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning. For heaven's sake, don't play that ghastly tune now, Jude. How idiotic you are.
Didn't it go all right, old boy? You don't need to say she refused you. I know it's the way she has. Gwendolyn is always refusing people. I think it is most ill nature of her.
Oh, Gwendolyn is as right as a trivet. As far as she is concerned, we are engaged. Her mother is perfectly unbearable. Never met such a gorgon. I don't really know what a gorgon is like, but I'm quite sure that she is one. In any case, she's a monster, without being a myth, which is rather unfair. I beg your pardon, Gina. Suppose I should talk about your own aunt in that way before you.
My dear boy, I love hearing my relations abused. It is the only thing that makes me put up with him at all.
That is nonsense.
It isn't!
Well, I want to argue about the matter. You always want to argue about things.
Well, that is what things were originally made for.
Upon my word, if I thought that, I'd shoot myself. You don't think there's any chance of Gwendolyn becoming like her mother in about 150 years? Do you, Alton?
All women become like their mother. But that is their downfall. No man does. That is it.
Is that clever?
Of course it is. It is perfectly free to anything a civilized life should be.
I'm sick to death of cleverness. Everybody is clever nowadays. You can't go anywhere without meeting clever people. The thing has become an absolute public nuisance. I wish to goodness we have a few fools left. We have. Well, I should extremely like to meet them. What do they talk about?
The fools? The clever people, of course.
What fools?
By the way, did you mention to Gwendolyn about the Earnest in town and Jane in the country?
The truth isn't quite the sort of thing one tells to a nice, sweet, refined girl. What extraordinary ideas you have about the way to behave to a woman?
The only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she's pretty, or to someone else if she's plain.
That is nonsense.
And what about your brother? What about the profligate Earnest?
Before the end of the week, I shall have got rid of it. I'll say he died in Paris of apoplexy. Lots of people die of apoplexy, quite suddenly, don't they?
Well, yes, but it's hereditary, my dear. It's something that runs in families. You would much better say severe chill.
And you're sure severe chill is hereditary or anything of that kind?
Of course it is.
Very well then. My poor brother Earnest is carried off suddenly in Paris by a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
But I thought you said that Miss Cardew was too much interested in your brother Earnest. Why don't you think he's passing a great deal?
That is all right. Cicely is not a silly romantic girl.